Similar to what we saw earlier this year with the Marnie's Grimmsnarl and Steven's Metagross decks, we're getting Mega Battle decks featuring Mega Gengar EX and Mega Diancie EX. Releasing on October 24th, they'll cost just $15 USD each, which I think already answers the question in the title of this video. Yes, you should absolutely buy them. You get a full 60 card deck for $15 complete with 2 Mega EXs each and an exclusive promo illustration rare. However, one is clearly better than the other, like how Turtwig is clearly a better starter than Chimchar. Aside from the value, another reason to buy these on day one is that they'll include several cards from Phantasmal Flames. With the Mega Battle decks out on October 24th, that'll give you 3 weeks early access, as Phantasmal Flames isn't out until November 13th on TCG Live. In case you haven't watched any of my previous videos, Phantasmal Flames will only have 94 cards in it before Secret Rares, making it one of the smallest main sets in recent history. If my math is correct, the Gengar deck has 11 new cards while Diancie has 8, meaning you can own 20% of the set well before it's out. As for which deck is better, Gengar is head and, well, I don't know if Mega Gengar has shoulders, but it's by far the smarter option. For just $15, this is what you get. Not only is there 2 Mega Gengar EX, you also receive a 2/2 line of Toxtricity, which is shaping up to be an absolutely insane card. Additionally, there's several staple trainers, including 4 Lillie's Determination and even 1 Dawn and 1 Grimsley's Move. Currently, Lillie's is the best supporter heading into 2026 and could continue to be a $1 or $2 card. Though with these battle decks, that price might drop over the next few weeks. One nice thing about product like this is that it might be scalper proof. Unless they watch this video, then I've ruined everything. Still, if you have a chance to pre-order this or buy it at any point when you walk into Target for foot lotion and see one sitting on the shelf, I highly recommend doing it. Because based on past experience, stock will be low and demand will be high. Let's take a closer look at those new cards. Mega Gengar has a great ability, denying them a prize card if they KO one of your Darkness Pokemon with damage from an EX's attack. Gengar's attack, however, is disappointing. 230 is coming up short on Raging Bolt, though it does help keep an energy in play, which doesn't really matter because you have Toxtricity. Using its ability, Toxtricity accelerates a Darkness energy from deck to one of your bench Darkness Pokemon, putting 2 damage counters on it in the process. So your opponent takes 1 less prize if they KO somebody with an EX, and you have continuous energy acceleration from deck. That combo alone is great, which also brings into question why the hell there's 13 energy on the list when you need 8 or 9 max. While the Gastly and Haunter Biden kinda suck, Toxel is putting in work. A Call for Family attack is always welcome, and this one benches 2 basics from deck. Looking at the other attackers in the Mega Battle deck, there's 3, Seviper, Sableye, and Eternatus. If you watched my Phantasmal Flames reveal video, I've got some bad news. Seviper unfortunately was mistranslated. Instead of any Darkness Pokemon EX boosting its damage to 240, it has to be a Mega Evolution Dark-type EX. So you'll have to pair it with either Mega Gengar, Mega Sharpedo, or Mega Absol. 240 for 3 Darkness is still bonkers on a single prizer, it's just slightly less good now. Otherwise, Sableye does 90 damage if Gengar's in play, which is fine, helping you KO weaker basics in stage 1s. Finally, Eternatus. Unlike toes in my mouth, I don't think this fits. It's basically a worse Seviper, topping out at 130 for 3 Darkness, and it might not even be able to attack next turn. Seviper can deal up to 240 for 3 Darkness every turn so long as Gengar's in play. In terms of new trainers, Dawn, Grimsley's Move, and Punk Helmet are all included. Dawn is amazing consistency, grabbing a basic stage 1 and stage 2 from deck, though its usefulness in Mega Gengar remains to be seen. Grimsley's Move, meanwhile, could be the best card ever printed, or about as useful as Rapid Strike and Single Strike Mustard. Play it, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and place a Darkness Pokemon you find there on your bench. Stack a Mega Gengar on top with Academy at Night, play Grimsley, and boom, you now have a Mega Gengar in play. Just be aware that like Forest of Vitality, you can't use Grimsley on your first turn. Finally, Punk Helmet is just a doubly good or Rocky Helmet, putting 4 damage counters on your opponent's active if they damage you with an attack. Again, this is absolutely worth your $15. The 2 Gengar plus 2 Toxtricity plus 4 Lillies plus 1 SIR Haunter will probably cost more than $15 if bought separately. However, the deck itself might not be the most viable competitive deck in its current form, especially with only 5 draw supporters. That's why you'll want to upgrade it. I'll have several videos about Mega Gengar and Phantasmal Flames starting in a few weeks, so make sure you're subscribed. For now, I'll just highlight the improvements you can make without changing the overall strategy. Number 1 is obviously Fezandipiti EX. It's a dark type, so it gives up 1 less prize if Mega Gengar's in play and they KO it with an EX's damage. And every time they knock out one of your Pokemon, even if they take 0 prizes, you draw 3 on your turn. You also want 1 Pecharunt EX. At the end of a game, it can deal up to 300 damage for 2 Darkness energy. Plus, it's a free switch for dark types every turn, though it does come at the cost of poisoning whoever you promote. which doesn't really matter because you have Munkidori to heal and move damage to their side of the field. Just remember that Toxtricity can't accelerate to Munkidori since it's a Psychic type, so you will have to manually attach to the Monkey. You may have also noticed that both decks are missing ace specs. Secret Box is the best choice here. Discard 3 cards from hand, go get an item, tool, supporter, and Stadium. Speaking of Stadium, swap Risky Ruins for Artisan. Consistency is key here. You're already damaging yourself with Toxtricity and Pecharunt, making the Ruins far too risky. Overall, these are all the cards I suggest adding to your Mega Gengar EX Mega Battle deck to make it standard viable. I know it seems like a lot because it is, but all except for 2 of them are fairly cheap to obtain. Even Roaring Moon EX has dropped significantly in price, yet it's how you're able to freely one-shot Megas and take 3 prizes. However, Fezandipiti and Secret Box are upwards of $20 each. Regardless of price though, I highly recommend getting a copy of Fezandipiti for your collection. Since it's from the H block, it'll remain standard legal until March 2027, and it's one of the best cards you can put in any of your decks. Something that might lower the price of Fezandipiti is the Trainer's Toolkit 2025. Releasing on the same day as the Mega Battle decks, it will cost $35 US and include 1 Fezandipiti plus 3 ace specs. Unfortunately, those ace specs are Hyper Aroma, Maximum Belt, and Grand Tree. But if you're at Walmart buying some smooth peanut butter to film a video for your subscribers and you spot the toolkit on the shelf, definitely get it. Not only is Fezandipiti included, you also get 2 packs each of Mega Evolution and Destined Rivals. Here's what that upgraded Mega Gengar deck looks like. I'll put a list in the description, just be aware that you'll have to manually change the Phantasmal Flame cards before importing them into live since we don't know the set details yet. And like I said, if you're building it IRL, set aside an extra $40 for Fezandipiti and Secret Box. Though you could always swap Secret Box for Prime Catcher, Unfair Stamp, Heroescape, or Maximum Belt, as those are much cheaper. While Gengar is a complete deck that may lack some overall power in its base form, Mega Diancie is much less exciting. In fact, I'm not even sure I can consider this a deck. It's more like a group of 60 cards that have minimal synergy being slapped together and sold for $15. Still, between the 2 Mega Diancie, 1 Meloetta SIR, 4 Lillies, and 4 Wondrous Patch, that alone could cost you $15 if bought separately. So yeah, as a competitive deck, this is horrible. As a $15 investment, it's not bad. Looking at the new Phantasmal Flames cards in this deck, Wondrous Patch is the most significant. Like Dark Patch and Metal Saucer before it, Wondrous Patch allows you to accelerate a Psychic Energy from the discard pile to a bench Psychic Pokemon. I know we're going a little overboard with Psychic Acceleration, but Gardevoir and Xatu are rotating in March, so while a bit premature, it makes sense. Anyway, Wondrous Patch massively improves Alakazam, lessens Slowking's reliance on Xatu, maybe revives Team Rocket's Mewtwo, but probably not, and I've even seen some lists in Japan use it in Dragapult Dusknoir with Energy Switch. Basically, it's a great card that won't be truly busted until next year. Now, where Mega Diancie has shined is a single copy in Gardevoir EX. Mega Gardevoir still exists in Japan, but players have definitely shifted towards Diancie. For starters, the rock's weak to metal, not darkness, which is important considering the dark types get plenty of support in Phantasmal Flames. Sure, Diancie is a 3-prizer with just 270 hit points, but the ability reduces the damage it takes by 30. And you can slap a Bravery Charm on it to effectively give Diancie 350 hit points. As for Judy Garland Ray, it can deal up to 240 damage for 2 Psychic, though you do have to discard both. My smooth brain was originally unimpressed by Mega Diancie based on its stats. Of course, it's actually the perfect partner for Gardevoir EX. Gardevoir re-accelerates the discarded energy, Munkidori heals it, and Drifloon is a crazy backup attacker. As for the less important new cards in the Diancie deck, those are Alcremie, Mimikyu, Meloetta, Cresselia, and Zacian. Alcremie sucks, only dealing up to 120 damage for 1 Psychic if you have a full field of 6. Meloetta blows, only healing 120 damage from one of your bench Psychic types. And Mimikyu is useless, only having access to a 1 Mon call for family. Zacian and Cresselia aren't much better. If Cresselia accelerated to the bench instead of itself, maybe it'd be a thing. It doesn't, so it's not. If Zacian did more than 140 damage, it could have been a decent late-game attacker. Instead, it's just too underpowered. So with all that fun stuff out of the way, how exactly do you upgrade the Mega Diancie EX Mega Battle deck? That's the neat part, you don't. I mean, they tried. Grumpig exists to accelerate some of the absurd 14 energy in the list. But any idiot could tell you that Xatu or Gardevoir would make far more sense. Naturally, those aren't included because of the G-Block rotation in March, except Diancie tops out at 240. It's not like Raging Bolt where you can take massive one-shots. Diancie can't do anything without a lot of help. Ultimately, if you're not putting Mega Diancie into Gardevoir, you're not playing Mega Diancie. It's as simple as that. But if you really wanted to make your own Mega Diancie deck that isn't paired with Gardevoir, I guess you could go with Xatu, probably not Wondrous Patch, Lily's Clefairy EX and Mystery Garden. Bravery Charm is a must, then you have to decide if Hero's Cape or Maximum Belt is the preferred aspect. But let me tell you, this will be a bigger disaster than that time I tried to convince the Pokemon Company not to make these provocative Wiglet and Sandy-Gas plushies. But they know who their target audience is and did it anyway. Plus, with a Metal weakness and an attack that deals just 240 damage, you're getting destroyed by Gold and Go all day. To quickly sum up this video, the Mega Gengar EX Mega Battle Deck is a no-brainer for $15. While it does require about $40 worth of upgrades, what you get for that $15 is insane value. As for Mega Diancie, it's not a deck. It's still worth buying to get Mega Diancie 4 Lillie 4 Wondrous Patch and a few staple trainers for $15 though. I guess I should also mention that while these decks release on October 24th, the new cards won't be tournament legal IRL until November 27th. That's because they're still considered Phantasmal Flames cards, so you'll have to wait the usual 2 weeks post-set launch for them to be legal. Do you agree with your favorite YouTuber that the Mega Diancie deck is one of the most incoherent things the Pokemon Company has ever created? Post only positive things about how smart I am in the comments.